With this video, I want to provide an introduction on how to create and manage a sales tax rate in Masterpiece Manager version 11. This would be the taxes, the sales taxes that are charged to the different transactions that you're doing in Masterpiece. To do that, to get started, we go to Admin, Sales Tax, and then under that you'll see three options: tax authorities, tax rates, and tax types. Think of this as step 1, step 2, and step 3. Step 1, tax authorities, you'll see that we display a list of all the taxing authorities that you've created. Think of these as the different tax agencies or government agencies that you're going to write a check to for your sales taxes that are charged. So I'm sure you've got a handle on this, but you want to make a complete list of these. To create a new one, you simply click Add, enter the name of that taxing authority, save, and close. And then that will be updated in the list. The second step is to create a list of all of the rates that will be charged by the different taxing authorities. So for example, if I open up the city sales tax, here let's assume that this tax is for the city of Santa Fe. So this is where you would select the taxing authority from the list that you created in step 1. Provide a name for that sales tax, and then enter the rate that that taxing authority will apply on all of your transactions. Okay? If you select any price, that rate, in this case 2%, will be charged on top of whatever the price of the item is. We have a couple of different options for this. For example, you can create a graduated tax rate or even a VAT tax rate. And a VAT, or value-added tax, is actually a tax that is debited from the total price of an item. We have videos that go into greater detail on each of those, so I won't get into them now. You'll want to create tax details or tax rates for each of the entities that will be charging taxes. Once you've done that, for example, city, county, state. Once you've done that, step 3 is to assemble those tax rates based upon the different taxing parameters that apply for your business. For example, if you're a New Mexico gallery and a local patron comes and buys something, there's a chance that you're going to apply a city tax, a county tax, and a state tax on top of everything, on top of the purchase price of the items that they buy. So you would simply check or uncheck the tax rates that apply. Okay? Give that tax type a name, and if you want that to be the default tax that is applied every time a transaction is opened up or started in Masterpiece, you check the default button here. Okay? Once that tax type is done, hit save and close, and that will be added to the list of tax types available. Now, every time you go to create a new transaction, okay, and add an item to your transaction, okay, note that the default tax rate is New Mexico sales tax, the one that you just created. Okay, when I add this item to the transaction, New Mexico sales tax is added to that transaction. You can always update this, okay, if you need to, okay, and turn this into a local tax, okay, or make it tax-free, okay, whatever you'd prefer. Okay, you can also do that at the transaction level, and you can also, if you add multiple items to your transaction, you can have a different tax rate apply to each of the items in your transaction, and Masterpiece will keep track of that. Okay. It's also important to understand that though this is the default tax rate for the system, you can also create a default tax rate for each of your staff members. You might have multiple locations in your business, and a different default tax rate would apply to the different staff members based on their location. Okay. In this case, we have Zelma, and let's say that we want her, rather than the New Mexico tax rate be her default, she's located in Arizona. Okay, we would save that, and now every time Zelma logs into the system and creates a transaction, that Arizona Department of Revenue tax rate will be applied to her transactions. That's how to create and manage sales taxes in Masterpiece Manager version 11.